show you my collection of things that I've been hoarding over the last few months, maybe over the last year. These are duck tins that I recently found you can buy in Chinatown. I was searching for an object that would somehow have a sound, or an object that physically seems to kind of have a sound that goes with it. And these, like, long duck canal, they're called, it's kind of duck language, I guess, or it means duck language, but I guess duck tins. And they somehow are linking to the frog bones that I've got here, which I collected from some frogs that I found electrocuted on a fence in, where was it, in Ludlow. And so you can pass them around if you want. But I thought they were quite nice in this matchboxes. They just felt like matches. And they were sort of pulsating on the electric fence when I found them. So I picked them off with a stick and took them back to my house. The first day that I moved into my new house, my next door neighbour just saw me like with this pile of 30 frog bodies, and he like introduced himself over the fence. So yeah, electrocuted frogs caught in their moment between the field and the pond on their annual kind of transition between being land animals and being water animals. I guess some of these objects are kind of transitional objects as well. I want to kind of use the opportunity to help me understand what the connections are between them, or how we could categorise them. There's quite a few more reductions on here. I want it to feel more like a sort of shoal. I want to kind of feel bigger so that I don't feel nervous. So if I put on the biggest t-shirt in Sports Direct, which is extra large, I'd feel a bit like maybe not as nervous. But it looks kind of like a dinner lady's outfit, I think, apparently, so to make it. I think like doing this, apparently if you put your hands on your hips it increases testosterone anyway, or if you kind of punch the air, like actually instantly increases it. So, but I showed my friend Lily that I was going to wear this, and she said, she just looked and she was like, "You need boning," and I was like, "What?" And I know that she knew that I'd recently broken up with my boyfriend, but like I thought it was quite direct by her because she's quite quiet normally. But apparently it's a kind of breast-making solution. I mean that it looked big the whole time. But I'm just going to do this bit. So these are some vegetables that I do this intervention when I go into Tesco's or Sainsbury's, and I take in things that they don't sell into the shop and try to buy them. And it kind of throws the whole thing into chaos because they don't know how to categorise them. And I like the idea of using the system against itself, just adding something on their terms, but yeah, then you kind of humanise the people that are there, because normally you don't really get to see them making a decision. They just go through the system and its rules, but then you get to kind of have this conversation with them, and it's like a nice way to humanise Tesco, Metro or the Co-op. And in Marks and Spencer's you get right to the top. In Sainsbury's they often kind of can make their own decision, and you start to sort of see the personality of each of the sequence. And this is an energy sauna if anyone wants to have, like, it's a kind of one, I don't really want to perform ever in my work, I want to kind of give you me, like maybe at my most vulnerable. So sometimes I stay up all night before a performance so that I'm almost crying during the performance because I'm so tired. This time I just had quite a lot of Pro Plus and some energy drinks. The rest of it is in here. There's a really nice one actually. This Magnum tonic wine, 16% alcohol, Jamaican. It says the name tonic wine does not imply health-giving or medicinal properties. This is, me and Noga recently used this mask. It's originally I made it as a kind of anti-crowd device. I was making anti-crowd devices for a while, but they were like physical belts that at rush hour I'd wear and then they'd get crushed instantly. Like people didn't even look at them, they just crushed them. And then with this one, it had much better impact. I didn't put it on and then there was at least the average amount of personal space around me without even having to try. But then when we use it in our collaborative piece, we took it to Kingsgate Fish Market and asked the market traders to talk to us with it on, and it really channeled something quite dark. So I think it's a powerful one. This is a really nice thing that I found in Hackney Wick the other day, because we've been making nails as part of our collaborative work. We've made this bronze nail, which is sort of a fake, because a nail is always something that you have to hit, and it's metal that's been strengthened by hitting, but this is cast, so it isn't really a nail, it's the idea of a nail. And then I found this in the Thames, which is a really beautiful real nail, but it looks more staged almost than this one. And then I found the gigantic one. I like them because they're objects of connection, and I think that's what I do, is connect things. This is water I found in the Thames, but it's obviously factory water floating, and I was surprised because I mean, it's obvious that you would find water if you went to the Thames and were looking for things, but I didn't think I would find this kind of water. And there's some bubble wrap somewhere, but I don't know what's kind of. I like that as well because I took this, I found it in my loft, and I looked up the design, and it dates back to the 50s, and the house that I moved into, the woman was like in her late 80s and she'd lived there for her whole life practically, and I found this in the loft and thought it could be 50s air. So I invited George over here to release it in this old swimming pool. So we released it and then put the air from the swimming pool in here, which was nice because somehow I liked that it was water, it was air posing as water. So I'm going to release the air, or the water air, the kind of hybrid, the conceptual water from that swimming pool, which is in Hammersmith. Now I replace it with the air from here. It's still got mould in from the 1950s as well, so it's a little bit 1950s there as well. Well, let's talk about this anyway. Right, so I met up with the regeneration officers, Jimmy, Jamal and Sam Neal of E17 where I live. So I just wanted to take a more active role in my local area. So I arranged a meeting under the guise of like art projects, and really all I wanted to do was to really vigorously shake their hands and harvest skin cells from them. So the name is Potion, because I immediately scraped it and kept this. And I think it sort of grew because it's got quite a lot more activity going on in there. So occasionally I will take a pipette and put it around the area to try and sort of create some solutions to the problems. And then this is a really nice thing that I found last week. It was in the Thames as well, because I was doing some Thames walk. And it says HM Prisons Only on it, which is the perfect escape object. I imagine it looks like it's from like the 70s or something. It doesn't even look real, but it must be real, because why would anyone make that? So it sort of implied that there was some kind of escape that had happened involving the Thames, and possible arson or drowning or a kind of watery fire. So that's there. I guess I'm probably running out of time, but let's see if there's any more. Oh, this has been an experiment I've been doing this week. Like I collected all the coins that I've had over the last few weeks and just sticking them together because I want to kind of thinking about currency and like current and kind of the flow, cash flow, and there's something satisfying about having them move like this rather than the way that they normally would, and maybe trying to completely take all of the cash out of circulation. I was actually trying to remake this rod out of these, but it didn't work, so it kept coming apart. This is just to remind me that pointing is in new photography. It always was, but then 150 years ago someone invented photography, and my friend Claire gave me these for a fancy dress thing, which I was dressing up in a kind of mime outfit, and it made me realise they were photography gloves for when she's like looking through her photographs, and I made a connection between mime and photography and realised that this is just it's just pointing. So it's nice that it is pointing again now that the sort of photography's over. And maybe it's just looking anyway. This is my thing that I realised sort of symbolises, such a symbolic thing now because it's a search engine object. And it used to mean looking, but now it means searching. And I looked up today to see what the differences between looking and searching. And it came up with lots of different people learning English, like what's the difference between looking and searching. And they said it was the same, but I don't think it is. I think searching is different because it implies an aim, even if you don't know what the aim is. Couple of quick things. These are the masculine and feminine perfumes that I spray on different stone statues around London, repeatedly, so that they become imbued with different scents over the course. I mean, it takes a while, to have them sent every time we go past. We can do that. And, I mean, some of them have. I mean, it might just be like in my head, but it feels like they have started to take on that scent. We could do that if they want as well, and try and it's hard to do it on my own sometimes. This is just part of the thing I put on my feet to try and make my footsteps as loud as a giant. Sort of a bit of a megalomania thing. This is a megalomania thing as well because it's dig a hole in the ground so I can put my head in it and try and wear the entire earth as a giant. That's different. I think that's all of them. You can have a look through. If anyone wants to have a breathe in of the energy sauna,